Hi! So today is going to be just kind of like an update video. So it should be pretty short, but just to go right to it, I've been very busy with my work lately, and that's kind of what this update is about. As you know, my job does pertain me going to Japan every year. And it looks like this year we are not going to Japan. I'm kind of not surprised, honestly. Only because I've been keeping up with everything that's going on in Japan right now during this chaotic time in the world. And Japan is still not opening their borders, one. The travel advisories are still, up there, so that's another thing to consider. And just, it's really crazy over there, honestly. The vaccines are not rolling out like they should, but they're doing better than some countries. But yeah, so there's a lot going on right now. So there's no possible way that we can safely say that we will be going to Japan this summer. So there's no Japan this year, which, like again, I said, I'm not surprised. It's not as hard as last year. Hearing the news last year was heartbreaking, and really, really hard. I think because this is the second time it's happening, I think it's not as hard, if that makes sense. It's not as hard for me. I kind of just have it in my head now that, we're just, if this is still a thing, there's no Japan. It's just, they go together. I'm hoping next year things will be way different. I'm hoping for the best, because I miss Japan. I want to go, and I'm sure a lot of you want to go to Japan as well. So we can just hope for the best, that things get better in the world and that we're able to travel to Japan very soon. Hopefully. I don't know, honestly. A lot of people are saying, maybe the fall they'll open up. I don't know if they'll open up in the fall, to be quite honest. Just because, like I said, their vaccine rollout isn't going as swiftly as it should. So I'm not sure if by fall they'll feel safe enough to open up their borders to tourists. That is just my opinion. I do not know anything though. So it's all up in the air, honestly. I'm hoping by the beginning of next year things will start opening up, but who knows, honestly. Now, my second update, which I'm super excited to tell you about. I have been promoting it on my Twitter and Instagram and sometimes Facebook, but I mostly am on Instagram and Twitter, honestly. But I've been advertising it on there, and I'm happy to now announce it on my channel, is that myself and a few other people, we got together and we started a podcast about Japan. It's been such an amazing experience. I've done a podcast before in the past and it didn't go as smoothly, and other people have different priorities and it's not the same, and it can get really complicated when working with other people, but this is perfect. Everyone is on the same page. We all love Japan. It's just so amazing. Everyone's so dedicated to this, and it's been such a blessing to have during this time. Since, I can't go to Japan. I haven't been in Japan in like forever now, it seems. I've been really missing Japan, and sadly, because of what's going on in the world, I haven't been seeing too much of my friends lately. I maybe see 2 or 3 of them here and there, but some of my friends I haven't really seen often, and it's those friends that I would usually talk about, Japan and anime with, and I don't have them, which, it kind of sucks. I miss them a lot. But I understand their concern, and I'm supportive of, whatever decisions that they make for themselves. So it was really hard for me during this time for the past 2 years. Well, we're going on our second year now. Hopefully it doesn't last the full second year. But for this past year, it's been really, really tough. And, you know, I would try to dive into whatever I could just to get my outlet. So like, I was posting pretty regularly on this channel for the past year, and it was great. I loved it. But I don't know, I'm one of those people that like I constantly need to be working on something in order to just not have my thoughts consumed by just bad thoughts. So when the opportunity presented itself to where me and these few other people would get together and do a podcast for our local Japan society, I was like, I'm on board. I love talking about Japan. I love talking about anime. Please let me be a part of this. So I'm happy to announce that you can now listen to our podcast. It is called Krewe of Japan. For those of you who are not locals to like the Louisiana area, Krewe, Krewe, is what we call like a parade crew. These are crews that, you know, they go down the street in like these floats and throw beads during Mardi Gras. So since this is like a New Orleans theme and we're from New Orleans, but we love Japan, Krewe of Japan. So I'm super excited to share this with you. I have the YouTube channel at the bottom of my home page of this channel as like a associate channel or just like a suggested channel for you to go to. But we're mostly a podcast. You can find this podcast almost everywhere. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, anywhere that you listen to podcasts, you can pretty much find Krewe of Japan. We've discussed so many things so far and had so many guests so far. So that's the thing, like when I thought of joining this podcast, I didn't think of the possibilities that could come with this. But man, like I said, the people that I'm working with are amazing. They have no limits. Like, just to think that you could work with so many people, like they just go for it, you know. They're like, oh, we should get this person on this episode, we should get this person on this episode, and they're just so like go-getters, and I love that because that's how I am. So it's been a really amazing experience. So there's so many episodes you can go through. We've already talked about Japanese language, we've talked about anime, we've talked about, what else have we talked about? We've talked about, you know, why we like Japan. We've talked about working as an English teacher in Japan in many capacities, honestly. There are so many topics that we've already covered, and we're just scraping the surface, honestly. If you would just see our Google Drive account, we have like so many episode ideas. So it's been really exciting. It premiered in February, and we'll be wrapping up the first season of the podcast at the end of May, taking a very short summer break, and then going immediately back to work on season 2. This is a weekly podcast where we just talk about all things Japan that we love, and all aspects of Japan, and really like teach people about Japan as well. Maybe certain aspects that they didn't know about before. So definitely go give it a listen. I really, really, really enjoy working on this podcast. It's been such a blessing. I can't express that enough. I've just been very, very, very happy with the outcome of the podcast, the response of the podcast that it's been getting, and I'm really glad to be a part of something like this because I really needed it. It's been a tough year, just like it's probably been for many of us. So I'm glad to have the podcast being an outlet for my love of Japan. it's been awesome. So go check out Krewe of Japan podcast. I would love it if y'all would subscribe to the podcast. We've been working super hard on it. You have no idea. Recording everything, recording the interviews, the editing. I mean, our editor, he is amazing. So go check it out. Please support the podcast. I'll have the links down below to all the Krewe of Japan stuff. Definitely go check us out. It would mean a lot to me. And I hope you give it a listen. If you did give it a listen, let us know how you like the podcast. It's been fun recording, so I hope it's fun listening to. And I hope to make more videos as well. As hopefully things start dying down at work. Even though we're not going to Japan this year, you know, they have me doing other stuff at work. So it's been very hectic, honestly. But I'm hoping to get back into the groove of things. Even though I really don't even have a set schedule for my videos. But you know what I mean. So once again, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this little update video, and I will be seeing you in more videos. Bye.